Hey guys, today I'm doing a different kind of video than my normal. I'm gonna do like sort of a story time, I guess a story time about when I quit my job and why I quit my job at American Apparel. Mind you, this happened very recently, like as in a couple days ago recently. If you follow my social media, you saw that I posted that I just walked out my job. But let me give you a backstory first. I started at American Apparel. I got hired December 8th of 2015. And like, the people always say it's so hard to get in there and this and that. I literally was in there shopping, and one of the sales associates was like, okay, you should bring in your resume. Are you looking for a job? Bring your resume. And I'm like, okay. Oh my god, so excited. Cause I love the store. So I'm like, okay, that's so awesome. Brought in my resume. Maybe like 3 days later, I brought in my resume the next day, and like 3 days later I got a call from the manager for a interview. So once I got my interview, literally that same day they hired me on the spot. So like the interview process is just like a normal the normal interview questions, and they like ask you to describe the company in 3 words and like stuff like this. I looked up the questions on Glassdoor, so I was already prepared for the questions. But I pretty much did an amazing job in the interview. That's the first part. The second part of the interview, they give you 3 occasions and you have to pick out 3 outfits for the different occasions. I had a guy's date night, a girl's club, I don't remember, and it was 2 girls outfits. I think it was one going out outfit and one casual kind of outfit. I can't remember for sure. But after I picked up my outfits, they said, okay, do you want a job? You're hired. So got hired, started after the holiday. She didn't want me to start because it was like busy, a lot of Christmas stuff, you know, whatever, all the sales, I don't know. But I started on the 28th of December. So it was like a 20-day process. I mean, my hiring process and everything was pretty much a week, but I didn't get to start until a couple weeks after that. So once I did get hired and I did start, I was pretty much my first day, I was not trained. I kind of was thrown in the mix. And oh my god, the perks, I will say, you get a 50% off. The employee discount is 50% off. Also, when you first get hired, you get like a new hire allowance where they give you $120 when you first get hired to spend on clothes, and then $120 again after your first 2 weeks. So $240 total to buy clothes, and then your first 2 weeks you also get 75% off everything in the store. So that was cool. You can stock up on clothes because you know you have to wear American Apparel clothes to work every single day. So I get started. Let's fast forward. Get started. Things start getting weird. The store manager, it was like kind of cliquey. The store manager didn't talk to me the first like 3 months I was there. Like, we would have awkward run-ins. I would try to start conversations. She just would not. She was not trying to act. And it was just an uncomfortable environment. Extremely uncomfortable. So I was ready to quit at that moment. But then she ended up leaving, and the assistant manager ended up leaving. So those are 3 people that were part of the clique that were gone. So things started looking up. I was with people that I liked. It was cool, very fun. I was excited to come to work. And at the same time, I got moved up to key holder. Starting wage is $9 an hour. But around my 5-month, 6-month mark, I got promoted to key holder after the managers left. I got promoted to key holder where I was making $10.50 an hour. Being extremely, extremely laid back. Like, not really many rules. You could say what you want, talk how you want, cuss. You could do whatever you wanted, really, as long as you were at work on time and you were like making sales or whatever. And I had no problem making sales. I was pretty much the top seller at the store, besides the store manager, which was someone who was a key holder before, but since everybody left, he kind of got jumped up to store manager. So Jacob's the store manager, who was a key holder before, who just got jumped up to store manager. Jenny is assistant manager. And we'll get to everybody else later. So when Jacob was the store manager, it was like so fun. Like, he was the most fun person ever. Like, going out, we go out and drink after work. Like, it was just so fun. We had a lot of fun. He invited us to his house. We would meet up a lot, and it was just cool. Very cool environment. He was cool. Everything was fine. So time passed. He eventually hired in Jenny as the assistant manager. He knew her already. They went to school together. They went to college together, so they've known each other for about 5 years. And she was also really close with his best friend, who's a sales associate under me. but had been there twice as long as me. His name, let's call him Tristan. Let's call him Tristan. So Tristan was sales associate under me, but been there twice as long as me. And he was best friends with the store manager, Jacob. And he also knew Jenny for the same amount of time. They had all been friends for a long period of time. So, basically, it was still cool when she got hired. She didn't really click with me. We weren't really like, but it was totally fine. We could talk. It was cool. Everybody was cool. The environment was still perfectly fine. Then, time passes. The store got robbed. So, American Apparel got robbed. They took a whole lot of money. They got away with a whole lot of money. They like cleared the safe, this and that. But right about 2 weeks before we got robbed, we hired in a new guy. I was extremely uncomfortable with this because I kept letting them know, like, you're not a detective, number one. You don't know him like that. And that's wrong for you to go around and tell people that he did this, like, as a matter of fact, when you have no idea in the end. And people are always going to perceive him that way, whether he did or not, because you're going around telling them that, and that's all they know about him. So I was very uncomfortable with that, and I let everybody know. Everybody knew where I stood on it, and I told them they could think what they want, but that's not okay, and that's not fair, and that's not cool. So fast forward a little bit. He ended up finding out Jacob would not answer the phone. He was ignoring his phone calls. So he called the store, and one of the other guys who was involved in the robbery answered, and he was like, yeah, he didn't lie. He told him, like, yeah, straight up, this is what we thought. We don't want to believe it, but this is true, that's what we thought. Finally got in contact with the store manager, Jacob, and Jacob lied about the whole thing. He said, no, this is not what happened. That's so untrue. Nobody feels this way. We all are so sorry that this happened to us, and I just want to get past this. All these lies. Me and Jacob ended up getting into it because he was acting all high strung, number one. And number two, I didn't agree with how he was handling things. He was very wrong. It was not okay how he was handling anything. So that was the beginning of the tension around Halloween. That was probably like, that robbery happened maybe the day before Halloween. So weeks of tension, weirdness, people not wanting to come to work because they felt unsafe. Time is passing. There's a lot of tension. A couple weeks before the robbery, Tristan, who's best friends with Jacob, the store manager, had a no-call, no-show. A couple days later, he was 2 hours late to work. A couple days later, 45 minutes late to work. No repercussions whatsoever because they were best friends. So no write-up, no nothing. So a little bit after the robbery, after me and Jacob had been getting into it a little bit, I closed and I forgot to bring my key to lock the door, so I had to call somebody to come lock it. Somebody around the corner to come lock it for me. So we worked together afterward. It was cool. It was no problem. Then the next day, he tells Jenny to bring me a write-up saying, like, this is a write-up for you losing your key. Number one, he put lost your key. My key was never lost. Then he put that it was a lack of training that made me lose my key, like I wasn't properly trained. And then he put I'll be moved back down to sales associate if this happened again. So I made it clear after I got this write-up, I refused to sign it because my key was not lost, so don't portray it that way. Two, I said, okay, you can move me down to sales associate all you want, but that'll be the day that I walk off this job. So he ended up dropping the whole write-up situation. Or maybe I thought he did, but he didn't. He really wrote me up still. I just didn't sign the write-up. So time passes, and I was also pissed off about that because I'm like, okay, you're writing me up for forgetting my key, but you didn't write your best friend up for no-call, no-shows. And then before that, he tried to write another girl up for borrowing some socks when he borrows clothes all the time. So I'm like, okay, so you just write up King these days, but you don't write up your best friend or yourself or your assistant manager. So I'm like, okay. More red flags, more red flags. After that write-up, I was already just cool on him. And the fact that he was a liar, like bona fide liar, like clear, just will lie straight to your face, like it is nothing, that rubs me the wrong way. I don't deal with fake people like that. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you. We don't have to have a conversation or anything like that. So right after all this weird favoritism stuff was going on, one of the guys who was involved in the robbery left, and he was also the visual merchandiser. So he ended up leaving. And he was a key holder. So both those positions opened up. He ended up giving it to his best friend, Tristan, before the positions even officially opened up. He gave them to him. Even though he's the lowest seller in the store, consistently, for months and months and months, the lowest seller. So he ended up getting the position. Everybody's confused, scratching their heads because he doesn't deserve it. He didn't work for this position whatsoever. So he got promoted to key holder and visual merchandiser, even though he's very shitty at both. He doesn't have a responsible bone in his body. But besides the point, he got promoted to this position. Everybody felt some kind of way. So his first day as a position, he's standing on one side of me at the computer. On the other side of me at the computer is Jenny, the assistant manager. So she's putting tags on belts, and I'm like, wow, it's nothing to do. I've been so busy all day. It's nothing to do. So she's like, well, if you really feel like it, like, if you really, really, really want something to do, you can go back in the back and grab me belts, bring them up here so I can put the tag on them and take them back, and then just keep doing that until I'm done tagging them. And I'm like, that's not really a task. So, not really, no, I don't want to do that. And she's like, okay, I don't really care. I just was trying to make something to do. I don't really care. That's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So, we talk like normal. Everything's fine. Leave work. Coming to work the next day. No, I don't. I was off 4 days straight after that. I get a text message the next day. Let me pull up this text because I still got it. She texts me saying, hi Paris, I was going to wait until I worked with you next to sit down and talk to you, but I really couldn't wait, which is why I'm reaching out to you through text. Yesterday I asked you to grab belts for me because you said you were bored and had nothing to do. I genuinely would have appreciated your help, but you said it would be weird, which I don't even understand why you couldn't have just said yes because I'm asking you to help me with something. And then when I left, you said something along the lines of, why the blank is she asking me to grab stuff for her? That is inappropriate and disrespectful, and I have zero tolerance for it. That behavior is not okay. I do have the authority to issue write-ups, so I'm letting you know now. I will not hesitate to issue you one if this behavior continues. Number one, I was so mad when I got this text message, y'all, because she's so passive. She don't say nothing. She could have said anything that she had to say to me at work. So this is what I said. I just told her basically, like, I didn't say that when you walked away, number one. So you don't know what you're talking about. Number two, I said we could just talk in person when you see me. Like, don't send me no text message, period, when you can talk to me when you see me at work. And I said, and just for the record, don't text my phone again about anything unless it's an emergency or it has something to do with switching shifts. Don't text my phone, period. So she's like, the reason I'm texting you, this is the killer. The reason I'm texting you is because Tristan told me today when I came in that you said that to him right after I turned the corner. And then right after I asked him if you could help him with merching when I had asked you to help me with something. So it is so it is a concern to me that as assistant manager, you blatantly disrespected and disobeyed me. But like I said, I will write you up next time. If you're saying that Tristan lied to me, I will talk to him separately. And I said, like I said, we will talk when I see you face to face. And don't worry, I'll talk to him for you. And then she tried to say how she's not trying to disrespect me and we'll talk in person and all this stuff. So I come in 3 days later and I'm fired up because I'm pissed about these text messages. And I said, okay, as soon as she walked in the door, I said, we need to talk in the back. So she's like, okay, I guess. When I got done helping the customer I was helping, I'm like, let's go in the back and talk. So we go back there and I'm like, okay, let me say this first. I didn't say that when she walked away. I have no reason to lie. I don't have anything to lose. And number two, that means Tristan lied on me and made this up the next day because he's such a freaking brown noser. He tries so hard to be on the good side. He's so pressed. Like, I don't even understand his motives, honestly, because me and him were very close before that. Like, very close. And then she felt like she could disrespect me in a text message. So when I came in, I went back there. I said, so did you hear me say anything out of my mouth? She's like, no, Tristan told me. And I'm like, okay, so do you have any reason to believe that I'm a liar? And she's like, no, not necessarily. And then she cut me off and tried to say, so are you going to apologize or not? And I'm like, what am I apologizing for? And she's like, for disrespecting me. And I'm like, you've lost your mind. So she stormed out the room, huff puff, crackly voice, like she about to cry, like you're a grown woman, she's 23. So that rubbed me the wrong way. And I let the store manager, Jacob, know at that moment, like, I'm not saying a word to either of them. They don't get a word out of my mouth because I tried to sit down and have a conversation about it and nobody wants to talk about it. So just know, until you make her sit down and talk, I'm not saying anything to anybody. And he's like, okay, I'll try to fix it. And weeks passed without me talking to either of them. And he did nothing about it, because these are his friends. He did nothing about it. And then tried to evaluate me and say that my communication skills suck. And he gave me he lowballed my evaluation because he said I haven't been communicating. He's been like doing subliminal messages in like emails and stuff, like general emails, general messages, but really geared towards me about communication. But like in the end, I'm the youngest there, and I'm the only one who tried to talk out the situation. So that's where like he was evaluating me in the back, and this is where it started to get heated, because I'm like, well, I tried to communicate about it. I'm not kissing nobody's butt, and I've done all I can do. So as soon as everybody else can be an adult, then this will be over with. It wouldn't have lasted 3 weeks to a month, period. And he's like, yeah, I understand this and that. So we talking some more. And then he come out the blue and say, well, this is your fault to begin with, because you should have just did what she asked you to do. When he said that to me, I'm like, first, I just really lost it, because I'm thinking to myself, are you really that, like, are you dumb? Are you dumb? I literally had to say to myself, like, I said, so I made her send me this disrespectful text. I made him lie on me. But somehow this still is my fault. So I'm starting to get heated. And then he acting like he understand. And he said it again. Then he said it again. So I just completely lost it. Like, I completely lost it. I got up. I'm cussing him out. Like, I don't know who you think you are. Like, you're clearly stupid or dumb or... Okay, whatever. So, like... I got up, I'm full blown cussing him out, like, I'm sick of this place, I'm sick of this, y'all unprofessionalism, I'm sick of coming in here feeling uncomfortable every day, and I just was going on and on. I'm like, you play favoritism, you pick and choose what the problem is, and then you try to put it all on me, you saying this is all my fault. Like, I was like, flipping out. So I get up, I couldn't even have a conversation anymore. I get up, swing the door open, now it's a hole in the wall from where I swung the door open. That was an accident. It was an accident. So, and I storm out, and I'm like, basically, F this place, I'm done. Like, so I call my boyfriend, on the phone with my boyfriend, like, in tears, pissed off. Like, and he's like, you know what? I'm about to come up there. And mind you, he lives about 45 minutes away, but I guess he was at a friend's house a little bit closer. And he's like, I'll be there in 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, fast forward, my boyfriend shows up. And he comes in there, he's like, he comes straight up to the counter to Jacob and like, we need to have a conversation. And I'm like, I'm just standing there. I'm an innocent bystander. And he's like, if it's about her, this is all confidential. I can't talk about her. This is confidential. Mind you, he got the biggest mouth in the world. He was telling us about employees' W-2 information. But he tried to say it was confidential. And basically, my boyfriend started getting heated with him because he kept saying little stuff. He's like, he was trying to stay calm. And I'm like, my boyfriend's basically getting heated. The girl next to him, new girl, just started 2 weeks ago. Obviously, she was a white girl. No offense to anybody, but she was a white girl. She tried to pick up her phone and start recording him while he's sitting here talking to him. So I'm like, oh no, that's not happening. I said, you need to put your phone down. So I said, she was acting like she wanted to put it down. I said, okay, well, you have 2 seconds to put your phone down. I'm snatching it out of your hand. Period. And you're going to be mad when I snatch it out your hand. So she went to the back. I finally my boyfriend to leave. Like, I'm pushing him out the door. We leave in. And she's like, we pull off. And I see the police pull up. So that means she went to the back and called the police. When I tell you I was so mad, I'm gonna pull up on her. Me and my best friend are gonna pull up on her. I know her work schedule. I know she walks to work. So you're gonna get pulled up on for that, because who do you think you are? Number one. Number two, got something for Jenny, something special for Jenny. And I definitely got something for Jacob, and that's already in the works right now. I can ruin everybody's life. So basically, I let that be known, and I left the job. And not going back ever again. The only thing that I'm going to miss is a discount, honestly. Like, I'm not saying anywhere where I'm not comfortable. I'm not saying anywhere where people want to whisper and talk behind your back and then smile, literally smile in your face and act fake in your face. So, like, I basically told everybody about themselves, and... like, the only person I didn't tell about themselves is Tristan, because he's literally not worth the breath out of my mouth. So you're all adults acting like children, and I just was done with it. I could not tolerate it any longer, and that was the end of my stay at American Apparel, and screw them. And that was it. Like, I was supposed to go to work today. Didn't go. Because I'm not going. I'm not showing up ever again. I'm done with that place. No 2-week notice. Just bye. Just over it. So, thanks for watching, guys. That was my story time on why I quit American Apparel and the truth about the company and the staff. If you want to see more story times, just let me know. Any other videos you would like to see, leave in the comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video, or if you want to see me do any other videos. And you can follow me on my social media listed somewhere on the screen or below in the description box. Thanks for watching. Bye.